And now, as the dice roll, brought to you today by Crypticore Tours. Tour the facilities of our totally legitimate and not at all suspicious office, campus, and laboratories. Just don't go in there. Or there. No, not there either. Crypticore Tours.
Previously on What Is Not.
Vic, we've been looking for you forever.
Next thing we know, Hagbard casts some sort of spell. I still don't know where the other three are. Crypticore is basically a think tank that uses cryptids to make weapon advances. Mildred's a troglodyte.
A what?
A troglodyte. The company is one of the bigger players. I thought that this Hagbard guy was just like a recruiting rep for the company. You're telling me that you've been in the hold?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So we still need to get ourselves over to Crypticore so that I can get some of these IDs for everyone.
You want a distraction? We'll get you a distraction. In the sand of the Mojave Desert in California, off historic Route 66, sits a small desert town called Baghdad.
We have some ancient prophecy that something bad's going to go down in Baghdad.
It's a town of shadows and secrets,
Things aren't as they seem, but we're still not quite sure what's going on.
where bumps in the night aren't the house settling,
trying to find answers.
and the monster under your bed lies in wait for your foot to leave the safety of your covers.
My mom used to tell me all of these weird stories about monsters, but I didn't really believe anything she said because, that's crazy talk.
It's a world where cultists spend their days pushing papers at the DMV and their nights summoning ancient creatures from the dread beyond.
Seeing maybe something happened down at Crypticore.
The expert,
Susan Donaldson, the town vet.
the freelancer,
People call me Beth. Hunting is sort of just like a business that I'm in.
the deathless,
Bruce the zombie and his father cast a spell to bring him back.
the initiate,
Donovan Pelayan, part of an ancient order of monster hunters.
the monstrous,
Zeke Solardier. He works for Crypticore, which is his family's corporation.
It's a town where it's very hard to tell what is real and what is not. Welcome to Baghdad. Why don't you pull whatever this vehicle is around and we'll get going.
Brilliant.
So are we utilizing these IDs as part of this, or have we switched to a different plan?
I love the IDs.
Yeah.
I think having a distraction going on as we show up dressed and with proper IDs looking like official Crypticore people, I think that's great. And the distraction will hopefully make people not look at us too closely. Right? Like they'll just say, oh, yeah, sure, whatever, come on in. We have to deal with this distraction.
Yes, I agree. So I think we need to get our upper Y and do a pit stop at Crypticore, and then from there move onward to the hold.
And we might need to change our clothes.
Zeke has a plan for that. Crypticore, of course, has lots of employee uniforms at the ready, since they do like to have everyone looking official and very much the same. So when we go in there, Zeke can snag some IDs and some Crypticore uniforms.
Are we safe to go into Crypticore? I feel like you should go in. I don't know if we should go in.
Yes, I think the rest of the gang will need to wait patiently in the upper Y.
Well, we can split up, I feel like. We need to get the van, which might still be in the parking lot of the Chili's.
Yes, the van is still at the Chili's.
Okay, so we need to get the van.
Do we need to call our driver?
So maybe some of us should go over to Crypticore and the rest should refashion the van?
Well, we also need to get the rest of our people. So shouldn't Zeke just go to Crypticore, maybe take one person with him, and then somebody go with Vic to go get the van, and then after we get the van for whatever that is for, we should probably go back to the armory.
I think The Bat Kid and Meryl are they at the armory with Athena?
Are they the army or the Haven?
Yeah, I think they're still at the armory with Athena, at the Titan Armory.
Okay.
All right, so who wants to go with Zeke to the Cryptocore?
Bruce jumps to the occasion.
That makes sense. He'll be a good judge of which uniforms will fit each team member.
Indeed.
It'll be a useful skill.
I think we've created a custom move for Bruce.
Yes.
Yep.
Fashionista.
Fashionista.
All right, so my understanding is you've got Bruce and Zeke going to Cryptocore.
Mm-hmm.
You've got somebody going to pick up the cryptids up at Titan Armory.
Yeah.
And then people going with Vic to wherever Vic wants to take you.
Yes.
We were going to get the van. Maybe Elvis can take whoever to the van.
It was Vic helping with the van? They had a plan for that?
I feel like the team that goes to get the van can then take the van to where our friendly cryptids are.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Vic needs it for something. Vic asked us if we had a mode of transportation.
Right.
Vic, did you need it? Did you need a vehicle? Did you need a ride?
Vic says, I need a ride. I need a vehicle. It doesn't have to be a van. It could be anything. I need me to make a stop. It would be helpful if I had one of you with me, because I'm sure there are many options for distractions. We just have to pick one.
Sure. Well, let's you and I and whoever else wants to come go get the van and then go do whatever you need to do. And then we'll meet up with everyone else at the armory.
Sounds good.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So again, describe to me who's going where now?
Donovan's going with Vic to get the van, do whatever they want to do, and then go to the armory.
Okay.
And Zeke and Bruce are Uberwying it over to Cryptocore.
Okay.
And we don't have any other vehicles.
We could take Mildred's car.
Yes.
Oh, there is that too.
Let's steal Mildred's car. Beth can do some hot wiring for us and get us over to the armory.
We could just take the keys out of her purse, maybe.
Okay, that's too.
Just trying to be practical.
I feel like Susan has this like unrealized criminal fantasy that she is just really wanting to dig into.
I'm just keep ruining it.
Breaking into places with credit cards.
That's like the keys are right here.
You and your reason.
Does anyone else want to join Vic and I?
I kind of want to get back to the Bat Kid and make sure they're okay.
Wasn't that where they're going?
Eventually we are, but we're making a stop first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I don't know, Beth, do you want to come with me and we'll take the car and go over to Athena's?
Yeah, I'll go with you because we need to take Elvis to go lay down.
Okay. All right. Elvis is coming with us.
All right. So we have Beth, Susan, and Elvis taking Mildred's car to the armory to get everybody prepped up there. We have Donovan and Vic going to wherever Vic wants you guys to go. And then we have Bruce and Zeke going to Cryptocore. Does that cover everybody?
Sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah, and we can drop Donovan and Vic off at the Chili's because that's where the car is. They don't need to walk there.
Okay.
Good plan.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So let us start with Cryptocore. How's that all looking?
I would imagine we summon up Brian, was it? Was that our Uber driver?
Yes.
So we summon up Brian and he comes over to get Zeke and Bruce. We hop in to the vehicle and he zips us on over to Cryptocore. There's quite a bit of activity going on over there, but it's a little bit chaotic. Everybody's kind of running around trying to figure out what's going on. So Zeke just kind of decides to slide in there and hopefully go unnoticed.
But of course, he doesn't.
He's wearing camo.
Forgot.
Yeah, this camo cover overalls. Yeah.
He looks like Duck Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
He still has some peanut butter in his beard.
And Bruce is still looking like a K-pop artist, I believe.
Yep, K-pop zombie. What's up?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going like in a back door, basically? Is that what you're...
Yeah, kind of like not the public front-facing lobby where we give visitor tours and so forth. This is kind of, the parking lot around back where the employees go and kind of avoid the public. So that's where I tried to go. Kind of like a Saturday at the office entrance.
Okay. So the first thing you notice when you start pulling up to the CryptoCore campus is that security seems a lot heavier than it normally is. Like there are a lot more security guards. They have a lot more heavy artillery than they would normally carry. Like it's like, why would security guards have automatic rifles? But they do. And so it's a lot different than how it usually feels when you come onto the campus because it looks like people are a little bit freaked out. The guard at the gate sees your ID as you drive in, and because it's an Uber, they are okay with them dropping you off, but they say that you have to be dropped off in the front because they're on a high security watch. So you can still go around the back, but Brian has to drop the two of you off out in the public.
Can I slip Brian a 20 and tell him ignore the guard, just bring us around back?
Yes. Well, actually, roll manipulate someone.
All right.
Are they giving public tours to tourists at this super shady company? Just wondering.
Well, that's what gives them that sheen of legitimacy, right?
Okay. Continue.
So what am I rolling for? To manipulate someone?
Plus charm.
Which is plus charm, which for Zeke, of course, is -1. But I rolled an 11, so that would be 10.
Excellent. So Brian has no problem with it. He appreciates the 20. He is very, very polite and very happy, and he does some really fancy driving that gets you to the back of the building that you want to get into, drops you off, and speeds away, wishing you to have a very nice day and call anytime you need him.
Zeke gives him 6 stars.
Excellent.
Bruce kisses him on the cheek and gives him the I'll call you.
Brian is taken aback, but not negatively.
Positively taken aback. All right, so we slip inside.
Well,
it's not gonna be that easy.
right on the inside of the door is our old friend Sigmund.
Oh, man.
Sigmund. Okay, Zeke's scratching his head trying to remember Sigmund.
Was this the guy who wanted a referral?
Oh, yes. He's the young guy, right, who wanted a referral and...
Who Zeke hit on very early on.
Yes.
Semi-inappropriate with.
Oh,
Considering your position of power.
And my understanding is that Zeke never wrote this letter of recommendation.
Oh, no.
So we have an annoyed Sigmund.
You have an annoyed Sigmund who's like, well, hello, Mr. Solidaire.
What happened when Zeke hit on Sigmund? Zeke hits on so many, it's hard to remember.
It got very awkward, and then you rolled a manipulate someone, which means you had to do something for them to do something for you. And they did their end of the bargain, but you didn't do yours because yours was to write a letter of recommendation, which you didn't because he followed up a couple episodes later and you hadn't done it and you didn't do it then either. So, yeah.
Chinkies.
So Zeke looks at Sigmund and says, hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm here today because I realized that I've really been amiss and I haven't written your letter of recommendation. And so I wanted to make sure to come in on my day off, and hence this outfit, which I'm sure you think is kind of hot on me. But I wanted to write you this letter of recommendation. So it's very convenient that you've shown up here at this time, because this way we can go inside. You can come along with me and my Bruce here, and I'll write you that letter of recommendation. So come on, let's go.
He is giving you a very flat look, and he is not impressed. So you need to manipulate someone to convince him.
Okay.
And you're going to be at a -1 because you already have used this move on him multiple times and not held up your end of the bargain. So I think that puts you at a total of -2 with your negative charm.
It is true. But he's a normal human, right? So I can use my mental dominion move on him to exert my will over them.
I also feel like Bruce can help out too here.
And then I could also use my unnatural appeal, which I got after my last experience, which gives my plus weird when I manipulate somebody.
Okay.
So I don't think I could do multiple moves at once, right? But so I just pick one of those? Is that how this works?
Yeah. So if when manipulating someone you use weird, then didn't you just fail a charm roll? Didn't you just try and manipulate someone and not succeed?
Back when we were in the library, you mean?
Oh, was that when it was? Yeah, because if you took that move, anytime you need to manipulate someone, you add plus weird, which I think for you is something like 3, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so yeah, so then even at a -1, you're at a +2 to manipulate someone right now.
Yes.
So I would do that.
Okay, use the unnatural appeal. All right, so I shall do this. Well, frig. I got a 5 plus, what are we saying? Plus weird is +3, but you're taking 1 away from me. So that would be, I'm sorry, now I'm confused. 5.
7.
I can't math.
7. You got 7.
7.
All right. So he's like, hey, Mr. Solidaire, I really can't let you through here. And I know you've promised me multiple times that you were going to give me a letter of recommendation, but I haven't seen it. And so I would like to know why exactly I should be letting you through. Like, what am I going to get for my time? Because at this point, I don't know that the letter of recommendation is enough. I think I need something more.
Like a kiss or a slap on the rear?
You know, Mr. Solidaire, I really have been considering very hard about talking to HR about this. The way you have been approaching our interactions, I think it's very unprofessional.
It is.
All right, I think I need to use mental dominion on him at this point.
Well, again, if you give him something that will be worth his while, he will let you through. Because you rolled a 7 to 9.
That's not sexual harassment.
That's not sexual harassment.
And hence I am drawing a blank.
Oh my god, awful.
What might he want? What do I know what Sigmund is looking for other than a letter? Because a letter of recommendation doesn't seem to be doing the trick.
Well, it was to get a promotion.
Ah, well, I am a high-ranking official at Cryptocore. So, all right, Sigmund, I understand that. I've really dropped the ball here. I've really been slow on all of that. And, I certainly don't mean to offend you. I'm just, you're a... I'm just gonna get myself in more trouble here.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just you were doing good there.
You're a nice young guy, and just having a play with you. But I have been noticing, amongst the other things I've noticed about you, that you are really excellent in your position, and I think that a promotion is in order. I know that's part of why you wanted to get that letter of recommendation, but if you had any interest in working in my division, in the environmental engineering division, I've got a couple of vacancies that would be a big step up for you if you'd be interested in that.
He perks up at this, and he's like, can I get that in writing?
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to. We can go on inside. I don't know that I have a pen or a printer on me, but let's go on in and I'll write up the offer for you.
All right. So he joins you in your quest into the building.
Excellent.
You don't know if you have a printer on you? Do you carry
Well, I didn't have a pen on me, and then I thought, well, I don't know that normally we would give corporate offer letters via handwritten pen, so it would have to be something printed. So yeah, that didn't come out very well.
It was funny though. It was good. I don't have a printer on me. Well, clearly.
It all comes back around in the end, doesn't it? Hello, I'm Joe Hogan, the editor of As the Dice Roll. I hope you're enjoying this episode of What Is Not. In response to our shout out on the last episode of What Is Not, thanking Rob for all of his wonderful cold opens, Rob sometimes said, "You're all welcome. In payment of this debt, I request that Joe read this during the next intermission, but he must do a cow voice or like a wolfy cow voice. Also, I support a sequel cop procedural where the wolf cow becomes human and joins the clearly understaffed Baghdad Police Department." Now, what he wanted me to read is a joke, but what is a cow voice? And what is a wolfy cow voice? So the joke is, what is Wolf Cow's favorite activity? Howling at the moon. So I guess howling at the moon, or does it need more cow? Like howling at the moon, or do I need the whole joke to be in a voice? Like What is Rolf's favorite activity? Rowing at the Rune. But see, that just feels like Scooby-Doo. I'm sorry. I've failed you, Rob. I'll keep practicing. I want to apologize for the exceptionally short show this week. When I made the episode cut last week, I thought there was like 40 minutes left for this episode. Nope. Just us chit-chatting. But it worked out because this week has been a doozy, so it helped to have a shorter edit. And we will hopefully have a little longer than average episode in 2 weeks from now to make up for it. I also need to apologize to Alinzia because she wrote a wonderful article about our other campaign, Cautious Optimism, and I just couldn't get it into last week's intermission. But I'll mention it here, and again on next week's episode of Cautious Optimism. It's a really fun article, and I really hope you check it out. You can find the article over on the Geek to Geek Media website at geektogeekmedia.com. And while you're there, check out the Geek to Geek Media Slack by going to the Contact Us tab. That's also where you can join the Geek to Geek Media Discord server. Both are excellent ways to talk with us in real time. You can follow us on Twitter at AsTheDiceRollRP, on Instagram at AsTheDiceRoll, or send us an email at podcast@AsTheDiceRollcast.com. And of course, you don't have to wait for episodes of As the Dice Roll to listen to our lovely cast members. You can listen to Todd on his podcast Nerdberg Review and Farming Simulated. You can catch Katie on Tea Time with Katie and Chelsea, Can't Stop Me Loving K-Pop, and Disney Forever. And of course, you can always listen to me on my podcast, Geektitude, where we are doing a rewatch of the X-Men franchise movies. Our last episode was on X-Men The First Class and The Wolverine. And our next episode will cover X-Men Days of Future Past and Deadpool. And if you're following along with us, make sure to watch the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past. That's it for me this week. I'll be back here next Friday, April 1st, with the next episode of Cautious Optimism. And then again on Friday, April 11th, with the next episode of What Is Not. Until then, let's see what Donovan and Vic are up to right after a quick commercial break. When toxic culture has you down,
when you're just looking to laugh and have fun,
kick back and enjoy watching a video game,
or just make some new friends,
it's time to visit the Geek to Geek Media Network,
a community of podcasters, streamers, and bloggers.
Well, more of a family than a community.
All dedicated to geeking out about the things we love. Things like
video games,
Star Wars,
comics,
movies,
K-pop,
Disney Plus,
Keanu Reeves,
new,
or whatever our community decides is the next best thing.
That's right. We have a great online community on Slack and Discord where we chat about our weekly geekery with listeners and viewers.
And each other.
Yep, and each other in real time, and we can't wait for you to join us.
So come check us out at geektogeekmedia.com.
And escape toxic fandom for something much more...
Keanu?
Yes, Keanu.
All right, so we're going to say that Bruce and Zeke and Sigmund are headed towards Zeke's office. To get this thing. And then we're going to move over to Donovan, and Vic has given Donovan directions. Donovan's driving, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
And you just hear him muttering to himself, stay on the right side, stay on the right side.
I was just going to say.
So Vic directs Donovan to go to the local convenience store.
All right. Vroom, vroom, vroom. We arrive at the local convenience store.
All right, so you pull up, you get out of the van, Vic walks in, and Steven, who you have recently destatuified, sees Vic, and his guys get really, really wide, and he basically goes, no, it's fine, it's that, and Vic goes over, grabs him by the collar, and slams his head against the counter.
Oh my god. So violent.
Wow.
What did Steven do?
I'm calling in a favor, Steven. And Steven's like, okay, it's fine. Just don't do anything to me. All right? I know I owe you, so it's fine. Like, what do you want? I can get it for you. It's fine. So Vic says, well, I don't know. I've got this lovely gentleman here who would be interested in looking at some of your wares and seeing what you have to offer. We are in the need of a large distraction.
Hey, Steve.
Hi there. Hi again. Okay, all right, it's fine. Just let me go, and I will show you what I have on hand right now. So Vic releases Steven, but is like right next to him, like walks him over to the front door. Steven locks the door, flips to the sign closed, walks them back to the very back to where like there's beer freezers and things, opens up the freezer, reaches way back into the freezer and pulls up this like 6-pack of really generic gross beer, but it doesn't come up all the way. It just kind of like he just tugs at it. And the whole freezer rolls to the side, and there are steps leading down below the convenience store. So he starts walking down. Vic starts walking down. What does Donovan do?
I'll follow him down.
All right. So you walk down the steps, and Steven turns on a light, and there's that whole, like, the fluorescent lights slowly coming on and flashing and not quite, taking a time to warm up. And as the lights come on, you see that there is this entire warehouse. It's basically the entire footprint of both the convenience store and the parking lot. And it's just crates and shelves and display cases of all sorts of magical items, everything from statues to books. Like, it is basically a warehouse of black market magic goods.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Next time on What Is Not.
Oh my gosh, this is where they keep the weapons. I thought they'd keep it at the church, but this is where they all are.
Sorry, I didn't mention the secret black market warehouse I had under my convenience store. It sort of would keep it from being a secret.
Bruce would like to rip the sleeves off the t-shirt. He wants no sleeves. He wants his guns fully exposed.
You've been listening to As the Dice Roll. The As the Dice Roll intro music is The Soap Opera by James Bowers. You can find and license his music through Pond5 at pond5.com. All the rest of the music in this episode is by Darren Curtis and can be found at darrencurtismusic.com. The opening voiceover is by our very own Rob Sometimes. You can find his podcast at comicbox.libsyn.com. And the As the Dice Roll logo was created by Maricel Edwards. Check out her book No Great Matter at msedwards.com. As the Dice Roll is a proud member of the Geek to Geek Media Network. Check out other Geek to Geek shows, streams, and content at geektogeekmedia.com. If you'd like to contact the show, you can send an email to podcast@asthedicerollcast.com. Individual players and GMs' social media can be found on our website at asthedicerollcast.com.